Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my December empties. So let's talk some trash, shall we? Now I want to go ahead and preface this empties with a little disclaimer, and that is that for 2023 I am going to be doing bi-monthly empties videos, so I will not be doing one every single month. I am going to do them every other month, and that is to give me a little bit more wiggle room in my posting schedule so that I can add a few new things in here and there, and this way I don't have like another dedicated video that I need to do every month. Normally I would put this up in the same week as my TBR and my reading recap, which is what is happening this week, but I kind of just want to have a little bit more space to do other types of videos throughout the year, so we're going to take this down to every other month. Now, I do have a decent amount of products to go through in this video, and that is because I have decluttered a couple things to start the year fresh. I have some empties that went with my project pan, and I have some empty containers of items that I'm not quite done with, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about them in this video so I can get rid of the trash and not bring it into the new year with me. So that's kind of where we are. Now I'm not gonna put this into categories. I'm just gonna kind of roll on through this and grab off the top. So the first one that I have is a body wash. It is the Olay Fresh Outlast White Strawberry and Mint B3 body wash, B3 complex body wash. It's a lot of words, but it looks like this. It comes in this very big container with a nice pump. One thing about this container is when it gets down towards the bottom, I do have to pour it into another container because the pump no longer works. But this lasted a very, very long time. It has a very nice, fresh scent. I can see myself repurchasing this without any trouble, but I do have another body wash in my collection right now that I'm going to be using up instead of purchasing this one again, but you could potentially see this again because I do like the size, the price is really good, I like the dispenser, I have no complaints. Next up, I have a toner. This was the CosRX Cica toner. It looks like this. It just came in this little white bottle. And this lasted a very, very long time considering that it was only, let's see, it was only 150 milliliters. So this lasted a very, very long time. I did not need a whole ton of this to cover my face, and it was fine. I don't think I would repurchase it. This is meant to be like very soothing to help with redness. That's what like the Cica line is supposed to do, but I didn't find that it necessarily did much of anything different than any other toner I'd used. And I have moved on to one from First Aid Beauty, which I am liking a little bit more in terms of the hydration. So I will not be repurchasing this, but I was glad to kind of give it a whirl and see if it would work for me since it wasn't terribly expensive, but not going to be repurchasing this one. Next, I have an item from my project pan, and that is the Revolution Pro Hydra-Matte Fixing Spray. This is a setting spray that I got from Ulta just on a whim. I actually liked this one quite a bit, but I felt like you didn't get a whole ton of uses out of this. I talk more about that in my project pan finale, which will be coming up next week. So stay tuned for that if you're curious. But I did like this. I don't know that I would repurchase though, even though it's not very expensive. I felt like I went through it very quickly. Then we have an item that I am decluttering, and that is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. Now, a lot of people really rave about this, and I did not find that this looked very good on my skin at all. I felt like it kind of accentuated my texture, didn't do a great job of like covering breakouts, things like that. And I just didn't like this. So I have used probably half of it up. I gave it a good ride. It's just not for me, so I'm officially moving it out of my collection for the start of the new year. Farewell to a product that I really did not enjoy. Next, I have the Drunk Elephant Slaai Makeup Melting Butter Cleanser, which looks like this. I talked about this in a previous video about how I didn't really like this. That was in my beauty budget update for the fourth quarter of the year, which I'll link up above in the cards. But basically, I did not like the texture of this. It was very thick, and I found that when I was trying to like emulsify it and even just rub it out of my hands, it left chunks behind. So I really had to work kind of hard to get it into the oil texture before I could put it on my skin. I felt like it took a lot to rinse off, and I just did not like this. It is a very thick consistency, not my preference, and this does not last very long, y'all. You're lucky to get like 2 months out of this because you have to use a pretty good amount of product, especially to remove eye makeup. So I would not recommend this. It's $34. The pharmacy one is the same price, maybe a little less expensive, and I feel like it lasted longer and does a better job. So I would not recommend this one. I would recommend you avoid it, actually. Next, I have this Dr. Jart Cica Pear Tiger Grass Color Correcting Treatment. This is just the mini size. I did use this all the way up, as you can see. I really love this for like easy foundation. Like I'm wearing it today. That's all I have on with just a tiny bit of concealer to hide some spots. And I feel like it looks really good on my skin. It wears decently well. It does help with redness, and I have purchased several of these and will continue to do so because I really, really love this. And I have nothing bad to say about it except perhaps the price. I believe the mini is $20, but it lasts a really long time. You don't need a ton of it. So I feel like you definitely get your money's worth. Now we have a hair care item, which I don't typically have in my empties because it takes me a while to get through hair care. This is the Eva NYC Gotta Bounce Curl Defining Cream. It looks like this, comes in a pump. One thing I will say, I don't know that this is any better than any other curl cream out on the market. This wasn't terribly expensive, so I didn't mind the price. It had a really nice smell, but once it got down towards the end of this, it was difficult to pump out. Like there is still product left in here that I have been unable to get out. So don't love that. I do like the recyclable packaging. It is metal packaging, so that's nice, but I think I will look for something maybe a little bit easier to dispense in the future. I'm currently using one that was like a gift, so we'll use that one up. I would not be repurchasing that one either, most likely. It's pretty expensive, but this one was just okay in my opinion. The next item is this Noble Formula Emu Oil Zinc Soap. It comes in a box that looks like this. I got this to help with body acne. So when it is that time of the month, I get a lot of breakouts around my chest area, and it's nice to have a zinc soap handy to kind of help with that. I feel like it really does help clear up breakouts. You can also use it on your face. I find it a little bit drying, but this one actually, because it has this oil in it, was not terribly drying on my skin, so I appreciate that. This says it is especially formulated for those with psoriasis, eczema, and dry skin, but it also works really well on acne. So I purchased this maybe even before the start of 2022, and I still have the tiniest sliver of it left in my shower right now. Like, this lasted a super long time, and I will definitely be repurchasing this. I really like what this did for me. The next item that I have is another one of the razor refills from Flamingo, so it's just a single refill. I did repurchase the 8-pack the last time because I saw that that is more cost effective than just the 5-pack, I think. So I did repurchase a refill box of these razors. Next up, I have a couple of supplements that show up pretty much every month. So the first is this Viva Naturals Elderberry Vitamin C and Zinc capsule. I take 2 of these per day just to help with my immune system. When you work with children, they are tiny little germ factories, so you know you have to prepare as necessary. Then I have another bottle of the EU Natural Urinary Harmony Demon Nose and Hibiscus capsules as well. I've talked about these at length, so those are the 2 supplements that I have this go round. Next, I have another CosRX Acne Pimple Master Patch Refill Pack. So I did go through this. This took me a couple of months. My skin's been decent the last few months, so have not been going through these as quickly, but I've talked about how they are my favorite. They stay on the best of any that I've found, and I feel like they do what they're supposed to. Next, I have a GrandeBrow Brow Enhancing Serum. It just looks like this, and I use it to help regrow my brows because back when I was in high school, overplucking was a thing, and I am still dealing with the after effects of that. I do find that this one works the best out of all of them that I have tried, but this is expensive, so it's kind of a toss-up if it's worth it. I do feel like it is because I feel like it's done some nice things to help regrow my brow hairs, so I will continue to repurchase, but just know this is very pricey. Next up, I have an eyebrow pencil. This is from NYX. This is the brow powder pencil, and this lasts a very, very long time. So I can get one of these and usually get like 6 months of use out of it. So I will be repurchasing this. I do enjoy the way that it applies. I can brush it through, make it look decently natural, although I am using a brow powder right now. This will be on my repurchase list at some point. Then I have this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer, which just came in this little mini. This was in my project pan, and I finished it up enough. I just threw out the remainder of what was left today, actually. So this is not my favorite. I feel like this is very, very cakey. Even the smallest amount can look cakey. I did not use this as an under eye concealer because there's no way that it would look good on me because I do have kind of dry and textured under eyes. Mostly I was using this as a spot concealer towards the end. It was fine. I would not repurchase because I do not like the texture. Next, I have this Beauty Bakery Pinch of Flour setting powder. This is a mini that I got from Target, and this is not actually all the way gone. I have decanted this into a dispenser that I like better because this one is that twist dispenser, and I just felt like it made a giant mess. So I went ahead and decanted it into something that was a little bit easier to deal with. This is very sparkly, so apologies for that. But yeah, this one's fine. It's still not like the Too Faced Peach Perfect, so I'm still on the hunt, but this has worked fine in the meantime. All right, we're almost done, y'all. I got 3 left. These last 3 are all makeup products. So I have the Glossier Lash Slick Mascara, which I went through. I did not love this. Here's the brush. It's just a bristle brush, but it is plastic bristles. And one thing that I noticed is that they kind of tout themselves as like a natural look, but I did not like the way this made my lashes look at all, whether they want to call it natural or not. So I did not use this on my top lashes. I used this on my bottom lashes because the one thing about this mascara is that it did not smudge on me. However, that also means it was very difficult to take off at night, and as a result I would really not recommend this. I will not be repurchasing. It was nice to finally give it a go because I have heard it mentioned several times, but for me this is not it. All right, the next item that I have is this NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This was in the shade Madeline, but I did finish this all the way up, so it is all the way empty. I am waiting for this product to restock. I have checked the NARS site, Ulta, Sephora, everywhere is sold out of the shade that I need, which is vanilla, but once it restocks, I will be repurchasing. This is by far my favorite spot concealer on the market. It looks very natural. I can just put a little bit of this over a spot and put some powder on and go about my day and feel decently taken care of, a little bit more awake, looking a little bit more alive. So this is a favorite. I have repurchased this many, many times, and I'm just waiting for it to come back in stock. I am hoping that it's not been discontinued. And the last item that I have is another Project Pan item that I actually meant to talk about in November and forgot, but this was the Benefit Highbrow Highlighting Pencil. So here is what is left. Now there is the tiniest bit left there, but I'm unable to sharpen this. The more I sharpen, the more it breaks off, so we're calling it done even though like the lead itself hasn't fallen out of the pencil. I can't get any more use out of this. So this did last a very long time. I mostly use this for sometimes highlighting under my brow, but I mostly used it as like an inner corner little highlight or on my waterline, which I did like. However, I do not know that I would repurchase this. It is a very chunky pencil, as you can see, and I think I like the Pixie one that does the same thing a little bit better just because of the size. So I will not be repurchasing this, but it is another item that I managed to finish in 2022 and can now move out of my collection. And there you have it, y'all. That is all of my empties from December 2022. I hope you enjoyed enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.